Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video here, we're going to take a look at the patch note for tomorrow's update, and this update is going to be very massive. It's going to have a lot of quality of life, a lot of new changes, and also balancing as well. It makes everything that almost everything that I'm actually requesting since Etheria restart release, and then like the quality of life changes, everything is already at this update. So now let's take a look here. The new content here, like we have the new enemies here, which is the Lilium. We already know the Lilium disorder is going to be very strong for PvP content. Alright, the design one is also okay. Then I'm definitely summoned for him as summon for her as well. And then we're gonna have another new SR unit. It's gonna be the Sun Shadow Nell and Disorder. So they can provide AoE vulnerable and speed up buff. So most of the other SR unit can only apply defend down, and then she's able to apply vulnerable. Unless you're like a unit like Dina that can apply vulnerable and also defend break at the same time. But for her, it's gonna apply vulnerable and speed up buffs. Then this is the unit herself. She also have turn meter pushing at her S2 as well. Then we are this is the new summer thing. We're gonna have the Lilium rate up banner, and then also Lilium will be added into the perma banner as well, so you don't have to worry about not able to get Lilium from the perma banner. Okay, then new skin for Lilium and also Nell, which is the recolor as usual. Then new enemies outfit, they're gonna added for the Lilium one. This is the time zone for you to purchase it, which is around like 60 MYR, so for your money it's around like 15 USD or 19 USD. Then gameplay update, this is actually very good. It's the Grim Pursuit with Inferno difficulty now, features a guaranteed mythic quality shell drop. After 5 battle of victory, you are guaranteed to receive 1 mythic quality shell. This is actually very good because time to time you might actually like do 8 multi or 10 multi, and then you get everything about the bar ship, which is actually very annoying. Now they make kind of like the PT drop. This is actually very good. So every 5 win, you are at least guaranteed to get 1 mythical quality shell. But the matrix effect is still going to be random. Just that it's guaranteed to get at least 1 red shell. So you have instead of just like pure RNG to see if you actually get it. So there's one PT system here, which will make things easier. And then some new stages have been unlocked, and then a new Ember Track mechanic is the Frost Mark instead of the Poison one now. And then secret stages have been added to Ember Track. So I think Ember Track, the map system, they're gonna add secret stages, like probably when you explore through the map, then they have like secret room for you to get extra point, I guess, or else why they would mention secret stages, right? Because in the boss stages, I don't think they're gonna be like secret stages. I think it will be something like when we are exploration, or they are actually like new difficulty. But I don't think this is gonna be a difficulty. I think it's just gonna be something where you're exploring. You can there's actually like hidden room for you to go through it. Okay, then we have Summit Arena Season 1 opening. In the Season 0 just ended, now it's going to be Season 1. And then new Arena loadout feature is very good. This is one of the features that I have been asking since Etheria restart came out. A dedicated gear loadout system available exclusively in Arena Realm mode, which is every single PvP content, and you can create specialized competitive builds for your enemies based on the team composition without affecting your regular PvE build. This is one of the biggest quality of life added into the game, because now you can set up your PvP gear and you can still maintaining your PvE grinding. So I can like keep on grinding Rengokusu while I go play PvP, because now the gear is not shared into one same system, it is separate. So you don't have to afraid that your defensive comp is no longer going to be like share with your PvE. So defensive will always maintain with your PvP setup, and your PvE setup can just do whatever while you're actually at grinding. This is actually very good. Then they also do some battle balance adjustment, which is like the animals buff and nerf thing, which is another website I'll be checking out later. Then battle fixes here, there are some changes or bug fix. One of the most keep note thing is gonna be, because there's a lot of things, right? One of the major fix is this one. Fix an issue where equipping the Bulwark module on Animus Freya would cause a turn meter display incorrectly. So previously, when you equip Bulwark that gives you 1 turn of immunity buff, the buff will actually affect from the Freya's passive to keep the turn meter push them by 4%. This is the previous thing. It's just, we call it as a feature, right? But it seems like it's a bug. They're gonna change it. So now equipping Bulwark of the immunity will no longer get affected by the Freya passive turn meter push, which is something you want to keep note if you're actually building Freya with the other unit that have Bulwark. Of course, you no longer have the turn meter push here. Alright, then the rest here is just some bug fixes and then gameplay fixes as well. Nothing too much. If you want to go through, you can go through by yourself because it's just some bug fix, nothing too important. And I would say that the important one will be here, optimize and adjustment. So first thing, enhance the strategy functionality, added a lineup recommendation for daily high difficulty challenge with curate top tier enemy setup based on a great players clear. So instead of just like now is the recent clear and the lowest time clear, they're gonna add another lineup recommendation is for more consistent, I think. Then another one will be the formation feature optimization. This is also the best quality of life update. So after the update, formation will now save both shell and module equipment status for enemies. So previously in the game, because when you go into a battle, like for example Tormaton here, then you have one formation thing for you to save the formation like this, right? You can save the formation here, but it won't save the equipment and it won't save the shell. But now they're gonna change it into able to save the shell and the formation. So next time you can just save everything you already set up. Like for example, this is gonna be my Tormaton team. If I already set up everything here nicely with the shell and also the module, then I can just save it here. Then I can just one click and also instantly equip everything and also move every single shell to that boss. So instead of just going through one by one, click here the plan management to slowly move one by one, it will take a lot of time. But with that changes, it is going to be a very good quality of life. It will make a lot of things, save a lot of time. Okay, so the original formation quick access menu will be removed. You can save your current team setup and equipment directly to the formation during the deployment phase of each stage. This is actually very good. So I'm looking forward for this update because it will make a lot of things easier. This is one of the best quality of life, I would say, for etheriarestart. It will save a lot of time for moving around with your equipment. Then added display for initial turn meter. I'm curious for this as well because the current game turn meter, we are not able to see who is actually taking the next turn because their turn meter is not really that accurate. And then improve the continuous battle stability, and then the other some fixes as well. But I think the most important one is this formation. And then a few things which is like something like case rumble, they lower the stage requirement. So for the SS and the SSS requirement, they reduce it, so it's easier for us to hit now. And then they reduce which one? So increase the summit arena, which is one of your PvP method. Down your victory grants 200 of the currency, and you get defeated, you're gonna get 50 of the currency. Because previously, if not mistaken, win is only 100, then defeat is only 10, which takes a lot of time for those casual player who wants to hit the weekly limit of 2000. They need to play a lot of attempt because if every time they lose, they're going to only get 10 of the currency. But now they increase the amount of participant reward, so you can actually max out your weekly reward easily without participate too many time or spending too many time in this summit arena if you're not really a PvP player. Then also improve the other stuff here. Okay, so overall, in terms of patch note, in terms of quality of life input into the game, this is very massive. Okay, then the other thing is about the balance patch note, and now let's take a look here. Balance patch note here, there's a few enemies actually getting a buff. So there's no nerf, everyone is only getting buff here, which is actually a good sign. Because if you actually nerf some unit here, and player might actually get mad, because if they actually invested a lot of the currency or their lattice into that unit, then it might actually make it useless, right? So health kit here getting a buff, increase the base speed from 111 to 117, so you can reach 127 when upgraded to 6-star. This is actually massive as well. Because if you look in game here, in terms of base speed, right, 127 is what concept? Lily is 127, Kazuyo is 124, Chachi is 125, Yeli is 120, then Holden is 120, Sanya is 121, Viper is 115, Freya is 126. So 127, okay, Mio 126, then Tsukuyomi 122. So 127 from health kit adjustment, because originally if your health kit is like 5-star, is 116, then you can when you go to 6-star, then you can go to 127. It's actually the same speed with Lily in terms of the base. So this is going to be a massive changes for health kit. It will make health kit able to be very fast to instantly apply the immunity shield for everyone. this will actually make Hell Kit very strong, because S3 here, the shield here actually is a shield that can also apply immunity for your whole team. So this is actually very amazing when your Hell Kit is actually going to take the turn first with the amount of base speed. Not to mention my Prolus here are getting so many dupes of Hell Kit, probably I can finally use him. Okay, so this is going to be a very massive changes. And then the S3 here, increase the shield amount. Originally, the shield amount is equal to 240% of your own attack. Now it will increase up to 300% of your own attack. So 60% more of your own attack thicker of the shield. So the more thicker the shield, the more damage you can absorb, and then the longer the immunity will land, because the shield also have immunity. Then another one, who have thought of Holden actually getting another buff. So Holden here, your every hit here, increase the multiplier from 125% increase, from 110% increase up to 125%, 15% for each hit, and you are doing 3 hit here. So basically your damage multiplier here is increasing by 45% of your own defense from your S1, and then increase the chance of applying defend down. So this is also good, will be also better for if you're using Holden in Tormentor, slightly higher DPS. And then the execute mode here, upon entering battle, increase the counter attack rate and the final damage for every 500 defense. Originally is 5%, they slightly increase the final damage you are able to get and the counter attack chance as well. So Holden getting a buff, which is insane. I didn't think of Holden would actually get a buff, because Holden is actually pretty strong already. Then the other one is Chloros. So Chloros here, I just made a video about the Rengokusu, and Chloros is actually killing Rengokusu. With this buff here, it will make Chloros even better to clear Rengokusu and also able to use in PvP content. So now Chloros, the multiplier final damage permanent increase is from 25% to 35%, and then the maximum increase cap is from 100% increase to 105%. So the more S3 you spam, the more S3 he casts, the more final damage is going to increase. So this is going to be very amazing buff for PvE, not sure for PvP, but this is definitely a very good buff for Chloros to keep making him to spam the S3, and the more S3 he spam, the more multiplier he can actually does. Probably you might actually see someone build a tanky Chloros and just apply the debuff on the target, and then keep on triggering the Doom Toll and keep on making him to cast the S3. And then the more S3 cast, the more damage multiplier it goes. Then this is actually very strong. And then another buff is going to be Rahu. So Rahu here increase the defense multiplier from 350 to 380, so 30% increase. And this is big, 80% chance of applying defend down. Originally it's only 60%, they increased to 80%. This is actually big. And then for the S3 here, the multiplier also increased by 40%. So basically you notice that a lot of the tank unit are actually getting buffed, like Rahu, like Holden for Hell Kit, all the bruiser unit kind of unit, they're actually getting a buff. So we might actually see a lot of bruiser units soon. And then this Remoka buff here is also pretty good, especially if you're using Remoka for Doki Doki. It will make the run even better, which is the S2 here, damage multiplier increase for the final damage. And then your S3 here, the every 3 hit here is from 180% increase to 200%. So easier for Remoka to actually one-shot the first target and splash the whole splash damage to the team. And then the stun here, instead of 75% chance, it will increase up to 100%, makes things a lot more consistent and easier. So Remoka buff is very good for PvE. PvP wise, not really that massive other than the stun, I would say. Then Fuchu here, in terms of dupe here, cause originally they give you 12% effect accuracy for Fuchu 4th dupe, which brings 0 value because Fuchu doesn't land any debuff, and it changed to effect accuracy. So this is something good and they should actually change it. Then Oboro here, the at the start of the turn takes indirect damage equal to 50%. They increase the 100%. So this is the SR unit one. They're getting some buff. Like for example, Grey here, the S3 damage multiplier getting increased 120% up to 160%. So if you're using Grey to clear Doki Doki, then it will be a much easier time. Like Chucky here getting a buff as well. 2 stack of Origami Guardian increased to 3 stack. Ring here getting a buff of the defense skilling and then reduce the cooldown from 4 turn to 3 turn. Tusutumo here getting a buff, which I don't really care. And then Marvel here, this is actually pretty good if you're using a Marvel user, cause the cooldown from 5 turn reduced down to 4 turn. This is actually very good. It makes Marvel's rotation a lot more faster. And then Mizuku Makoto here getting a base speed increase, and then the punch of the skilling defense from 300% increased up to 360%. And then the other one like CPU here getting some buff, which is the rare unit, and then researcher number 41, the turn meter push from 20% increased up to 25%. Then Chachi here, the chance of applying stun increased up to 50%. The R1 it doesn't change too much in my opinion. The S11 is increasing the multiplier, which is good, and then the SSR1 is getting a massive change. And then another bad news, or I would say the only bad news, will be Revelation. So Revelation here have an effect. So in PvP content only, Revelation will be affected by the Etheria Rena effect protected field, which is reducing the damage deal by 30%. So previously Revelation will ignore that part and Revelation can just instantly apply the damage. But now Revelation got a slight nerf, which is in Etheria Rena effect, the damage deal will reduce by 30%. Okay, but it did not affect your PvE, which is a good news, because a lot of you actually abusing the Revelation damage in PvE. So if they actually change it, then people will be mad. But now they only apply it for PvP and reduce the damage by 30%. We can tell from the patch note here, they're actually making the Bruiser unit even more tankier. And then for Golden Lion here getting a buff, which is one of the underrated shell I did mention previously. They're going to increase the final damage deal from 5% to 8%, and effect accuracy from 7% to 15%. Basically, it's the same amount of final damage and effect accuracy, but they lower down the stack. So you can actually accumulate the stack faster. So this is Golden Lion might actually shine in the future. Then some general adjustment is all shell skill will no longer be considered as skill 1. So any effect that target or interact with skill 1 will no longer apply to shell skill. So probably there's some changes about this. I'm not sure this part in terms of considered as skill 1, what kind of synergize is that, I'm not sure, but there's some changes for it. And then module adjustment, Keen Eye can no longer trigger by the damage from shell. So Keen Eye got a little bit of nerf, so no longer able to trigger the damage by the shell. But overall, in terms of balance changes, is actually very good, especially those players who want to play Bruiser. One of the biggest win is going to be Hellkit, and then the other one I will say is going to be Holden, and then Rahul getting a very good buff in terms of Bruiser unit. Okay, so basically that's it for this video. Overall I really like this patch in terms of like quality of life, in terms of like the changes, all this thing is actually very good. So I'm hoping the patch actually come in sooner, so I can actually use the quality of life for my current grinding for my game. So basically that's it. What do you guys think about this update? Feel free to comment down and let me know, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is Sky Elk, Trekcan, thank you so much for your support. And for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwaltz, Rimu, Choni, Antonio Winterspoon, Rocco Stenzions, thank you so much for your support. And also special thanks to the Super Tanks MVP, HMZ Rings, thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest tag. Thank you so much for Code Wilderness, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Choni. Thank you so much for your support.